Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Connect Scholar. Today is our second video on the topic of research, and this research topic series will go on for a while now until we have covered most of the frequently asked questions and most of the confusing parts of research. So today we're going to understand why research is done, what's the purpose of research, what is the importance of research, and who are the people behind research, who conducts research. Basically, if you see, research is a very broad term, my friends. It's not just about a scientific procedure. It can be done about anything, and literally anyone and everyone can do research, from a little child who goes to school and learns about a new topic and questions his or her teacher regarding that topic. That child is curious to know more about it. He or she can be or may be a good researcher in future. And my friends, people ever since they stepped on this planet Earth have been doing research. It's a never-ending thing, and it goes and goes on. Let's take an example of Stone Age. People back then used to live in caves. They must have found good, clean water for themselves. They must have found better lands for themselves. That's also research. They traveled. They found out stuff. And in a similar way, if we look at our generation today, we have artificial intelligence around, we have so many advanced technologies. That's all because of research, because we have been inventing new things to make our lives easier. And it will not be wrong to say that we cannot advance ourselves and our society without the use of research. Let's understand what is the key motivation behind research, why we do research, what's the need of research. As I mentioned in our previous video, that research allows us to create new knowledge from the existing knowledge that we already have. We create new things, we think about that thing in a different way, from a different perspective, and we come to certain conclusions that are beyond our expectations, and they are beneficial for us, and they can help us solve real world problems and improve systems. How is that done? Let's take another example of the old times when people used water from lakes and wells. There wasn't any concept of pipelines and water tankers in houses, so they used water from wells and lakes and rivers, and that. But somebody must have came with the concept of the pipelines and water tankers and barrels. Maybe drinking water from wells and lakes and rivers was not an issue until they found out that water can reach their homes without them walking for miles and miles to get some water and bring it home. So they found out that it's more convenient and more easy if water comes to us somehow. So this is also a kind of research, and this must have solved a real world problem, a problem that people did not even think it was a problem, but once the solution was made, it actually became a problem. That's also how we advance. Now let's take an example of medical field once again. Back then there were no medicines. People used plants, herbs, fruits, vegetables, seeds, and stuff like that to treat diseases. But once the concept of medicines, the tablets and syrups came, the older concepts vanished somewhere. That is how systems were improved with the help of research. Sometimes unimaginable innovations are made because of research. Let's take an example of the discovery of penicillin and insulin. Although those were not intentional discoveries, they were accidental, but they brought so much advancement in the field of healthcare. So this way or that way, research is very important in our lives. It advances our world in every way, whether it's a general thing or a medical related problem. Better treatment options are invented, better devices are created, and most importantly, research helps us to plan things effectively. Research also gives us data and insight, which is very helpful for making policies. Let's take an example of a country where the population of people is increasing day by day, and government takes steps to count how many people are living in their country and what is the number of resources available in their country. Is it sufficient for everybody? If it's not, they will surely take measures to correct things, whether it's by importing more goods for people, maybe producing more things, or maybe by introducing one-child policy like China. So we can also say that research helps us plan things in a better way for future by collecting data, by taking surveys, and making new policies. Now let's understand who is eligible to conduct research. As I said, everyone and anyone can do research, but let's talk professionally this time. Scientists are eligible to conduct research. Obviously, they work day and night to invent new things, and doctors conduct research. Anyone and everyone in the healthcare team is eligible. Students can conduct research. These days, universities make it mandatory for undergraduate students to perform researches in their final year as a part of their curriculum, which is a really good thing to advance your society as soon as you can. It's a way to promote critical thinking and new ideas and look at things from a different perspective. Other than that, students of master's programs, PhD programs, all of them are involved in research. And the analysts who are experts in statistics, since they have a skill of analyzing data, they are also eligible, or they also have the ability to conduct research. Let's understand the real world impact of research. In most cases, the impact of research is always positive. From life-saving innovations like COVID-19 vaccine, advanced cancer treatments, and artificial intelligence involvement in the diagnostics and medical field, this way or that way, the impact of research on the world is positive. Even if the results of our research are negative, the impact is still going to be positive. How? Let's understand that. Let's suppose you invented a new medicine, and after all the phases of the trials and stuff, it has now been introduced to market. But as the masses start using your medicine, authorities noticed that there were certain side effects of your medicine. So they called your medicine back from the market, and now in this case, either the medicine will be studied more deeply, or it will be contraindicated in certain patients, or maybe discontinued to avoid any further harm. So the result of your research was negative, but the impact was still positive on the world, on your society, and it was proved in the post-marketing surveillance of your medicine, which is also part of your trial phase. I really hope I have answered most of your questions, and in our next video we will be talking about the categories or types of research. If you have any further queries or any further topics that you want us to discuss, you can email us on the given email address. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing. Allah Hafiz.